Welcome back to TGIF, Gary with the T, Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva. We just had a real dope conversation about the whole Larsa, Pippen, Malik Beasley conversation. I like that conversation. You know what I love on this show? We can
What?
be shady, but it's not on purpose, just opinionated and have thought provoking conversation. It
I
ain't
love.
just on some surface level. We go deeper. We go
Hmm.
deeper. All right. Our girl, Cynthia Bailey, is in the news. She's going through some real life drama with her ex husband, Peter Thomas. She's currently suing Peter for $170,000. Now, Ms. Bailey says she loaned him the money to help him start his lounge, Bar One, and is now attempting to have the courts foreclose on his home to collect the money that's owed. Do you believe Peter will take responsibility and pay up, or will he need a U-Haul to pack up? What do you think is going to happen with this?
Well, I'll start it off. Yeah, no, we always Cynthia's wedding, and we love
Yeah.
Cynthia dearly. But I think
Yeah.
Cynthia should let Peter go with the money because when they were married together, and what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. And I think they should just end it amicably and just fade into sunset with a new husband, Mike.
Do you think you can't loan someone money? Do you think you can't loan your husband money when you're married to him? Because I kind of feel like you can.
You
It
think you
just
can or you can't?
it just depends on the way y'all have y'all finances set up. Like I'm gonna tell you something. I'm one of those people, unless the person I'm with makes significantly more money to me to the point where it's beneficial for us to merge finances, our finances gonna be separate. So I can most definitely loan you money. This story is very troubling for me because I'm friends with both Cynthia and Peter. Like I'm at Bar One all the time. And the thing that's unfortunate is that Peter tends to find himself in this situation all the time with people and money when it comes to this business. The story is the same and has been the same for years. I loaned Peter money for a business venture and has never gotten the money back. Now, we all know Cynthia, and we know that Cynthia is nice enough that she didn't just go to the court. She sent that man a text. She sent that man an email. She called and sent him a postcard about her goddamn money. Okay. And what people got to understand is this is the prime example of communication when you loan people money. That lady was once married to him. If he didn't have a 170 in one fell swoop, she would have took 30 here, 25 here, just enough to hold her over and to show that I got you, sis. I didn't forget. But when you get brazen with it and be like, bitch, I got your money and I'm full line all over Miami with a new business venture and basically screw you, then no, that's what brought this to the court process. But I just hate it because Peter can't seem to escape this financial narrative in
Well,
business.
this is my opinion, Claudia. I think when I read that article, something doesn't line up right. Something in that article just doesn't sound right.
What do you mean?
The whole forcing him to foreclosure on what? His house. You're trying to put him out his house, but the house has nothing to do with the $170,000. There are too many loopholes in this story. Now, Cynthia is being smart and shrewd, which is how I know her to be. But I think Cynthia has learned the game. I think Cynthia is using the fact that she's in a media rotation. People have been following her in her wedding, in her relationship with her new husband. And she's taken this opportunity to push Peter to the carpet, to force his hand in paying her money that he probably has owed for more than 2 or 3 years. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but this is probably something that's been going on for a long time. She's in a media cycle. She knows that anything that she says right now would be picked up. She wants her money, which I don't know why, because she's making a lot of money, and so is Mike. Well, I do know why, but I'm just saying, to me, there are too many loopholes in this story. I think she's using her opportunity of being in a media cycle to get her money, and that's what's happening with this particular
You know
article.
what? One time I was with someone that had a lot of money, and during our relationship, he fell on bad times, and I loaned him a substantial amount of money. Well, to me, it was at the time, it was like 50K. And during that time, his finances changed, and he didn't have it. And I let it go for a while. But when you hear like, they have other things going on, you're like, okay, this person's doing better now. Like, I had feelings for you. I cared about you. So I wasn't going to go for your jugular. But now if things are going well, why should I not be made whole when I looked out for you and, you needed
Right,
me?
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But what do you think about it, Gary?
I think, but I kind of feel like we're kind of missing the point somewhere down there too. Now, first of all, if she didn't have it in writing that this was a loan, honey, it's no longer a loan. What happened to the day when people got married and the man sexed you down so well until you just say forget about it and don't worry about the money anymore and stuff? I think that should be taken into consideration because he probably sexed her down real good at that point, and she shouldn't have to ask back for that money. She should just take it as a good sex or romping or something.
Well, it is worth mentioning that in the article, there was mention of a promissory note. So there was paperwork put in place, and Peter is well aware of the fact that whatever the transaction was, it was a loan to be paid back because there was a promissory note in place.
Well, I just want her to be smarter, because if you force him into foreclosure, you don't get first position. You get second or third position based on his financial situation. And if it's like Q says, she's clearly not in first, second, or third position because he owes a lot of people money. So don't force it into foreclosure, babe. You need to renegotiate your terms and get your money.
And then the thing is, we
saw him at the hotel.
Say it again.
Did he have money that night we saw him at the hotel?
Did he get any money?
No, I'm asking the question. Do you think he had some money that night we saw him at the hotel after the wedding?
Listen, I'm not trying to be the topic of conversation when he goes on someone else's blog and wants to talk shit about us and be mad at us again. I will say this. I think in Cynthia's offense, all the time she was on Housewives of Atlanta, people kept coming for her, calling her naive for believing in Peter and believing in her husband, which you're supposed to. Exactly. And she's not with him anymore. So I feel like this. I'm friends with Cynthia. I'm cool with Peter. I think, if it was a loan, it was a loan. And if it wasn't, it wasn't. And I guess it'll come out in the court documents. And I don't think there's anything wrong with either side if they think they have a case.
I'm just saying, why now? Why?
Because I want my goddamn money. Because it's mine.
No husband. She should need the money.
Because it's mine. But because it's mine, and because I see you on Instagram with a jumping ass business in Miami, because I'm finna give him a shameless plug. Bar One in Miami is goddamn jumping. It's the place to be. He just started Yacht One, where for $3,000 you get 2 bottles and a spread and go out on the yacht for 2 hours on the boat. That's doing well. That restaurant is damn jumping. I want my damn.
That's not necessarily.
I don't have to. Let me tell you something. You don't have to give nobody no explanation as to why you want your shit. It's my, because I woke up today and the wind blew. That's why. It's mine.
But that's all that stuff is smoke and mirrors. Look at all the businesses that closed, honey, during Corona, and you thought they were making a lot of money. They closed over damn night. It may look like he's making a lot of money at that restaurant, but he might not be making that much money over there.
True that.
I think it's doing well. My friend Jessica works there too. I think it's doing really well. But
I got a friend that's partner over there. It's doing very well.
So you think he should give Cynthia that money, that $170?
Of course. Let me tell you something.
But he said he was going to pay it back. So why are we arguing about? He said he was going to pay it back. According to my story, he said he told it was going to be paid back in another couple of months.
36 months. It was 36-month loan. Run that lady her coins.
Oh, with the loan, it's a loan. Case closed. Okay, moving on. Speaking of Miami, Funky Dineva, I hope you have some info on this. Is artist Saucy Santana about to walk him like a dog, or is this all a coincidence? Now, Saucy, if you don't know who he is, he's on Love and Hip Hop Miami. He has a new single, Walk, and some are saying it's a diss pointed to a viral sensation, Rolling Ray, who is in fact in a wheelchair, so he doesn't get to walk often. Now, the two social media influencers have been dissing one another subliminally. This is so fucking shady. I can't keep it straight.
Wait a minute, were they dating? Were they dating?
No.
That's what it seemed like. Shit.
Were they dating?
No.
What do y'all think about? I saw so Ray is in the wheelchair and he's always one that goes purr. He has a really big tongue. He's always like purr, purr. There he is. So I don't know why they got into a beef. Dineva, Q, do you got the tea on this?
So listen, I don't have any firsthand tea, but I definitely read up on the story, and I will say this: it is very funny, and Rolling Ray does talk a lot of shit from that wheelchair. And let me tell you something. I don't know whether Santana made this diss track directed at him or not, but if he did, that is definitely the way you creatively and coinly collect a bitch, because he collected Ray. And what was messed up about it is now, and I'm gonna say this, and I may catch some backlash, but you cannot be in no wheelchair talking shit and then hiding behind your damn disability. When we fussing at one another, the whole point of when you ranking on somebody or trying to collect their ass is to hurt, maim, or injure them. And if your ass can't damn walk, the first thing I'm finna come for is you in that handicap sticker and your right to park at the front in the mall. It just is what it just is. That's listen. That is life. That's just life.
That ain't no life.
I'm gonna talk about you in your wheelchair.
Wait a minute. Somebody got to be a force of logic here. Isn't this?
You're not gonna talk. Hold on. You're not gonna talk shit about me You're not finna talk shit about me in no wheelchair and think that I'm not gonna fire up on your wheelchair.
That's not
how this works.
That is not Christian like, honey.
I'm rocking with Dineva on this. I feel like this. Handicapped folks, listen, everybody says they want to be treated equal. If you want to be treated equal, then if you come for me, then you're going to have to stand on your word, no pun intended, and you're going to have to stand on what you said to me, and we got, you know what I'm saying? We're going to battle this shit out.
You can't tell that damn man to walk if he's paralyzed in a wheelchair. You can't tell that man to walk if he's paralyzed in the wheelchair.
Let me tell you something. We all have our lot in life, and you have to play your position and stay in your lane, or in this case, stay in your chair. Okay? Don't come for nobody that got the ability to walk and like you gonna rah, 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 and you got to park at the front of the mall. Don't do that. Don't, and then try to hide behind your disability. That is not cool. Now, whether or not Santana made the song about him or not, I don't know, because I know it takes a while to record, edit, master a song, and film a video.
You know he didn't walk specifically for Roland Ray. You know.
But I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
That's how you collect a bitch.
Yeah.
Pay me for my pain. If I'm gonna beef with you publicly, I'm gonna get something out the deal, baby.
Oh, you don't go for the deal, honey. That's dirty, baby.
I believe like in certain instances where kids and old people are off limits, like, come on, we have to draw a line somewhere. And this is National Disability Month. So can we please be a little bit more sensitive to people with disability, especially 1 out of 4 Black persons have a disability in America. So I'm just saying there are different ways that you can handle this. Directly attacking the man in the wheelchair.
No, the man in the wheelchair
attack him.
Okay, I'm just
Al Reynolds, real quick, talk before we go to break. If someone that had a missing leg attacked you, are you gonna just go all the way around the obvious jab?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no, if you attack me, you got a good leg, and I'm gonna take you down. I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna sit here and make a song about it, and I'm not going to discredit disabled people. That's just a whole different journey.
They're not crediting disabled people. He discrediting him. This ain't about disabled people. It's about him. And you talk mess to me in your wheelchair, and I'm gonna talk about your wheelchair. That's all to it. And if you don't like it, listen, Ray know what his limitations are.
Roll out.
He ain't just get disabled. You been handicapped. You been new when you fire up on people. They fire up on you in that wheelchair. You've been getting fired up on in that chair since the 3rd grade. Okay. Now you want to do this publicly and hide behind your disability. No, if you want to be treated equal and you want to come for people with legs, then they're gonna come for you bad.
No, it's just like when people call you and Al faggots when y'all were young. If they had kids, they wind up going to be faggots too. So what goes around comes around. So you don't do that to people that's in a wheelchair.
We're going on a break right now, but I just want to make this note to Santana. It was actually, he did release the song on National Disability Day. So we're going to take a quick break because I can't control myself. I'm going to say something bad. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to come back with more TGIF. Roll out.